Dear Michael, it has come to my attention that you are reluctant to pay off these officials. Please understand if you do not adhere to my advice, consequences relating to your bonus will ensue. Think of your daughter, Michael. You want her to have a quality education, right? If that's the case, then I highly recommend going through with my deal. Let me know your decision by 5 p.m.
I can't believe this. How am I going to afford my daughter's education? Harvard University? Not without this paycheck. We are already struggling to pay mortgage. Now this? On the other hand, I can't keep sacrificing my morals. I'm trying to teach my kids how to be good, how to do what is right. I'm tired of being this hypocrite. Does my life have purpose? I wish someone could help me with this decision. Excuse me, sir. Where am I?
Well, son, you're in the Birmingham jail.
Oh, wow. What year is it here?
It's 1963, and I am Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, wow. You're the man I've just been looking for. Do you have time to talk right now?
I ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Perfect. Well, I'm working for my boss, David, and I have some questionable things that I've done. I've evaded my taxes and fudged on some safety rules, and now he's asked me to bribe his officials. My daughter looks up to me and really needs a role model in her life. I can't keep living the way I am, man. Martin, can you give me some advice about what I should do?
Are you stupid? Take the bribe. Listen, I'm a moral relativist. Whatever you want to do is right for you. Look at all these different cultures and societies. They all live by a different moral standard, and they do just fine. That means you can live by whatever standard you want. See this drug handbook? This is the standard I live by. You say you don't want to take a bribe, man. Capitalism thrives on greed. Look at my hero Al Capone. He made a name for himself. He rolled in dough. He did what he wanted, and he thrived. Growing up in a gang taught me valuable lessons. I lived in this community, and they always had my back. My gang formed who I am today. They taught me that caring for those around you is the highest form of morality. I would sacrifice everything for the well-being of my daughter, man. Man, this is a dog-eat-dog world. We're just products of evolution and need to make sure we survive. Do you want to see your daughter survive in this world? The only people that matter are your family. You can't care about these officials. Everyone else is just competition. It would cost more to not bribe the officials than to just let your daughter starve with an education.
You see here, Michael, my friend over here started out with some very wrong assumptions. He missed a very key foundation in looking at the situation. Michael, do you realize you are made in the image of God? That means you have intrinsic value, which means you have worth. In fact, I was just writing a letter to some of my pastor brothers about how we have this higher law implanted on our hearts. We can reason independently as to what is right and to what is wrong. That means we are held at a higher standard and cannot give in to our whimsical passions and desires. Also, I agree with my friend here concerning the point on community. Community is essential for establishing values and building character. The family is the central institution that instills these values. Being a father myself, I have understood that virtues need to be taught in the family. As a father, Michael, you need to lead your family in these morals that adhere to your conscience and the Lord's word. Relativism is a fallacy because you have an incoherency of standards. If relativism were true, the cops would have no moral basis for imprisoning anyone. How can they say that I am doing an immoral thing if there is no absolute truth? My imprisonment would not make sense. But sure, we have a standard of morality. We need someone or something to promote this. The purpose of government is to promote virtue through its legislation and regulation. We have these inalienable rights, endowed to us by our Creator, and the government doesn't have the right to take those away. Because of this, I've been trying to fight for the rights of men and women. And finally, greed is a human vice, not a virtue. Markets rely on trust to do transactions. Although there is no perfect system, it is people with virtues that make a free market thrive.
You know what, Junior? That all makes sense. In light of all that you have said, what should I have done in each of these following situations? Let me see how I can word this. Well, I was trying to find ways to cut expenses, by cheating on my company's taxes. I knew it would benefit the company, but really I just had this huge inkling of guilt, just I was carrying it around with me everywhere. I mean, I gave the forms to this really sweet accountant I had, and she was so oblivious to it all.
Michael, let me tell you what you should have done. According to the Gospel of Matthew, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, regardless of your feelings on your tax codes. You are responsible to pay them. You said yourself you felt guilty. That means you have the natural law upon your heart. You should have gone the extra mile and found ways to cut costs legally. Even though it might be easier to evade taxes, it is against your conscience and the law of the land.
You know what, Martin? That really makes sense. That's going to be hard, but in the end, I know I'll be happy doing the right thing. There's also this other situation I'd like to talk to you about when I fudged some safety rules. So this is what happened. Honestly, I just found some ways to avoid paying workers' compensation to my employees. I mean, I would have them working almost 50 hours a week, and get this, no extra pay. I felt awful, but it was saving the company thousands of dollars, and my bosses were really happy about that. My employees looked exhausted, but honestly, I just thought it would be good for the company.
People are worth more than the company and need to be treated as such. You can find other ways to save thousands without the expense of unnecessary labor.
I can't believe I did that. I feel so guilty. I mean, my employees, they deserve to be treated fairly. Because, as you said, they're made in the image of God.
Right. Now, concerning that bribe.
Right. That's why I am here.
Since there is a moral standard, you are responsible to God and other people to do what is right. I can understand the temptation to give the bribe, but we must respect the value of humans and the value of business instead of acting selfishly. And remember, Michael, the time is always right to do what is right.